Howdy everyone, WarSarcy here, and today we'll be looking at Spirit Roots on Nintendo Switch. Spirit Roots is a 2D platformer where, like other platformers, you run through the levels, collecting coins, dodging traps, and fighting enemies. The enemies, of course, are optional, but not if you want to achieve perfect completion. By that I mean you get graded at the end of each level. 1 spirit for completing the level, 1 for killing all enemies, and 1 for collecting all coins for a total of 3 per level. Spirits are used to unlock new worlds and sets of levels, which there are a total of 5 differently themed worlds with 10 levels each for a total of 50 levels, with there being a boss at the end of each world. The controls are pretty simple, as you have your gun button, your sword button, jump button, and your button to activate levers. There are of course other things that will be introduced on a level basis that will affect things, such as moving platforms, mushrooms that shoot you up in the air, the various traps you have to avoid, etc. If you play on normal difficulty like me, you'll get 3 lives per level. Each time you die, you'll be brought back to your last checkpoint, but die a 3rd time, you'll have to start the whole level all over. Of course it did get difficult, as I found myself dying a lot at first, and sometimes found myself playing with the simple goal of getting to the end of the level, rather than defeating every enemy or collecting every coin on my first go. However, upon turning it to easy, in which you get unlimited tries, I had a much better time and actually started playing a lot better, despite difficulty not actually affecting enemy skill. Now, while I've mentioned easy and normal, I might as well mention extreme difficulty. In this, you get 1 try at each level, no checkpoints. If you die, you restart the whole level, it's simple as that, which honestly, a lot of the time, it feels pretty doable. Now, my thoughts on this game are pretty simple. Originally, I was gonna say that it's a pretty decent platformer, but after lowering the difficulty and playing it again for a while on that difficulty, I'll go a bit further and say that it actually is a good platformer. It has a nice charming look to it when it comes to visuals. The art style and the backgrounds are nice, even though the overall design is somewhat generic. There is of course a story to the game, but it didn't really grab my attention as much as the rest of the actual game with the gameplay. There weren't really many issues with it. It did get a little difficult, like I said, so it's definitely one of those games where you'll be dying and restarting a lot, but at least they have multiple difficulties, which makes this a more lenient game. About the worst issue I had was with the actual platforming when it came to ledges. I'd walk off a ledge to drop to another one and turn my direction mid-fall only to grab onto the same ledge I just walked off of and end up getting killed by a trap. It took a little while to get used to, as I'm pretty used to being quick in switching directions when jumping to or dropping down to platforms in most platformers, but I eventually did get the hang of it, however. Besides that, the only other thing that I can think of was there was one time where I hit an enemy and we both died at the same time, but that was probably just a bad case of bad luck, so again, it's not that bad. Pretty much best advice there I can give is to use your sword's reach rather than getting too close. So yeah, the game can be a bit difficult at times, but it was a natural difficulty made by design rather than clunky controls or glitches. So besides that, I really don't have much to say about this one, so if you want the game yourself, it's available on the eShop for the standard price of $5. I'd like to thank Drageus Games SA for sending me the review. This is WarSarcy on the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.